Ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sweetie. धर्म जात का भेद न इनमें, तीज त्योहार सब भूल गए। धर्म जात का भेद न इनमें, तीज त्योहार सब भूल गए। सीमा पर नाथ हमेशा, नमन है ऐसे वीर सपूतों को। जी हाँ, our defense from Army, Air Force and Navy. Now, I would like to invite our next guest speaker, Dr. Ashwini Kumar from National Defense Academy. He had published several publications in reputed national and international journals. He is presently running DRDO and DAE collaborative projects. Sir, I will put emphasis on the topic COVID-19 and defense. Please put your warm welcome to Dr. Ashwini Kumar. Sir, please.
Hello, good afternoon to all. Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for inviting me for this talk. So today I will be presenting something about the defense sector, and the topic is COVID-19, the pandemic, and the defense. So how defense is tackling all these issues. So as you know, whenever there is an issue, there is a sort of emergency in the nation, always defense sector needs to be kept on pause. And India is quite fortunate to have been spared the horrific toll that the virus has taken in vast swaths of countries across Europe and North America. The armed forces, which has always played a pivotal and proactive role in humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, have been an integral part of the unprecedented response to this biological calamity. The top leader of the fire services like Indian Army, Navy, Air Force have been working round the clock with the key stakeholders in putting swift and coordinated mechanisms in place to fight this virus. We have a IDS, Integrated Defense Staff System, which is the chief advisor of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Bipin Rawat. And this organization is especially suited to bring in synergy and jointness in the current rapidly evolving scenario. We have the National Crisis Management Committee has been constituted, which is overseeing the command, control and coordination of this crisis management group of various wings of the government and the armed forces. The very tasks which were assigned to the armed forces were two missions to evacuate Indians in foreign lands, which had become hotspot for COVID-19. And Indian Air Force has played a pivotal role in this, and we have evacuated 112 Indian citizens of friendly foreign countries as well as Indians, which were flown back from Wuhan on 27th of February 2020 in a C-17 Globemaster, and 58 Indians were evacuated from Tehran, that is in Iran, on 10th March of 2020. These evacuees were quarantined in 6 facilities established across the nation, including Manesar, Jaisalmer, Jodhpur sector, and 7 other Air Force quarantine facilities are already in ready state in Bhatinda, Devlali, Dundigal, Chakri, Agra, Gorakhpur, and Bangalore. Indian Navy has also set up its quarantine centers at its in Visakhapatnam and Kochi. Indians evacuated from Iran have been hosted in the Army Wellness Center, which is at Jodhpur under Operation Namaste. These centers provide holistic facilities for medical treatment as well as also their physical and mental well-being. And our Honorable General Bipin Rawat, who is the Chief of Defense Staff, has recently visited the camp to take stock of the situation and to interact with the doctors from the Armed Forces Medical Corps. Under the Make in India initiative, the Indian government since 2014 has actively promoted the setting up of defense industrial base in the country. A number of policy directives have been issued to encourage Make in India program and actively promote the establishment of 2 defense industry corridors in Uttar Pradesh and in Tamil Nadu. But Due to this COVID-19, there's a lot of implications have been implemented or is already forced on to this private defense industry. And these are multiple. Like
Okay. Yes.
they have to bear the wages of all the employees, so there is no production at all, right? For domestic as well as exports during the lockdown and beyond. Discontinuity in the business cycle due to disruption in contracting services. There may not be no business during the early stages post lifting of lockdown. Enhanced cost of capital, interest in capital for an extended duration of projects, working capital challenges for several MSMEs. So there can be a lockdown strategy which should be implemented by the government of India. With the help of government of India, we can get some fund release so that these problems can be overcome. And we have to implement the lockdown exit strategy for defense and aerospace sector. These both defense and aerospace sectors industry needs to be distinguished from the rest of the industry sectors due to the peculiarities already explained. It is an accepted fact that many capacities created for defense products cannot be employed elsewhere. Secondly, it is also known fact that defense industry needs to be treated as a strategic national asset and nurtured. Therefore, the government must do the following, that is new orders to Indian industry under Make in India, reappropriation of funds, budget plan for foreign acquisition to Indian industry, and faster the orders in the pipeline meant for Indian MSMEs, especially where the IP belongs to Indian company and the IC is more than 75%. This will ensure that the value capture is happening in India. So the response from the global actors to the COVID-19 pandemic remind us quite powerfully how the history of disease and response to disease is linked to colonial and ongoing politics of racial exclusion. The material effects of the racialization of disease exacerbates racial subordination and violates the fundamental human right of historically subordinate groups, just like human rights Dr. Dheeraj Mishra was talking about. So some states have looked to return back to the future of the early global health, resigned and have prioritized ad hoc and piecemeal responses. Yet, deepening globalization and the mobility of people makes it nearly impossible to fight pandemic disease in this specialized and counterproductive manner. The COVID-19 pandemic is a wake-up call from inside all our houses to strengthen health system globally as well as the global health architecture to better respond to existing and emerging diseases. It is also a timely reminder of the shared obligations of actors to ensure greater protection from highly infectious diseases and of the need for effective global action and solidarity. Thank you all. This is all from my side and hope you would have enjoyed the talk that was delivered by me. Any questions from your side, please? Any questions from your side, ma'am?
Thank you so much, sir, for your lovely wordings. Now we can see how the army people, air force people, and naval staffs are working together to overcome these diseases. And in the border also, they are working hard. Vande Mataram, sir.
Jai.
Jai Hind. Now, I would like to proceed